Recording in progress.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all check us out on our social media platforms. Check us out on the Facebook page, live, also on Twitter live at Barbershop SPOR2. And also you can find us on our Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. And we are also streaming live on our YouTube channel as well. I'm the boy Trey Frazier right here. So a couple of things. If you notice anything different, folks, my brother, my partner in crime, Maestro Styles, is kind of running a little bit late, a few minutes, so he'll be in a minute. But we do have a special guest here with us tonight. He goes by the name of Jason Feirman, 1/3 of the Third and Three podcast, which you can check out on their Facebook page, and also you can follow him on Twitter as well. Jason, man, welcome to the show. Little bit of technical difficulties to start off a little bit, man, but glad I got through everything, and hopefully my partner kind of comes in here in a few minutes just to kind of, get the thing going, man. How you doing, man? What's going on?
No doubt. Well, hey, we'll kick it off. That's all right. I'm doing as good as can be for your team losing the NFC Championship, man. It just, the way it went down was bad news. I know we're going to talk about it, but I feel robbed, bro. I feel totally robbed. Like I want another crack at it, like two teams healthy again, but it's just like it killed me. It was the longest 3 hours of my life. I don't even know why I watched.
Condolences to the Niners, man. That was a tough watch, man. I was looking forward to two of the best teams in the conference, and Brock Purdy goes out on the first drive, and I didn't even know y'all had Josh Johnson. I got to be honest with you about that. I had no idea dude was on the roster. So did you guys pick him up like mid-season, or was he already there like in the beginning of the year? Like how did that?
He was. Yeah, we did. We picked him up, after, Jimmy went down, and obviously Trey earlier in the year. We picked him up because at least he was a veteran. We were like, all right, we'll get somebody out there if we need it. And we never thought it would come to this, obviously. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, he was a midseason pickup.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, because he, as you can see, I'm a Ravens fan, and Josh Johnson played for us last year. He played in the Cincinnati game where we got blown out, late last year. What is this? Signed out?
He's been on like 12 teams, I think. Josh Johnson. I'm not even kidding. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. But let me start here too, because I had your co-host Nikki and Damian on our podcast, late last year, talking about their teams and stuff like that, and we kind of got into how you guys started out the Third and Three podcast. Let everybody know, how you got started into, I guess, sports writing, the coverage, that kind of a thing. And, here goes my co-host right here, Maestro Styles.
My fault.
What's up, Maestro?
What's going on, bro?
Oh, was that you? That was, I had a message pop up saying that I've been signed out, and I had no idea what that was about.
Oh yeah, it was me then. Yeah, that was me then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Maestro, it's been a crazy last 15 minutes, bro. I was having some problems trying to get the stream started, and we kind of got off to a little late start, but things happen.
Well, I just got finished ducking traffic. It was a bad accident on Suitland Parkway, so.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, at least you safe, man. You safe?
Oh yeah, it had nothing to do with me. I'm just sitting in traffic.
Yeah. You here? You safe? All's good. We finally got you here. We got Jason here. We just kind of briefly dug into the 49ers loss a little bit, but I kind of wanted him to give us a sort of a journey on, how first of all, how you became a 49ers fan, since you're from Long Island, right?
Yeah. I'm originally from Brooklyn, then I moved to Long Island. Yeah, so I'm in New York. I'm a New York guy all the way,
Okay.
except for this.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what's up. I grew up in Bed-Stuy, so I'm from New York
Oh, no
also.
doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did you become a fan of the 49ers coming from New York?
Well, you see, that's the thing. My father is a total front runner, and in the '80s, the Mets were a better team than the Yankees, so he made me a Met fan. The Knicks were the only game in town, so obviously I was a Knicks fan.
Yeah.
Didn't do much hockey, and as far as football goes, he is a total front runner. My father, I mean, front runner. He roots for everybody who's doing well. I mean, I never seen nothing like it in my life. It's crazy. So whoever wins the Super Bowl last, he's a fan of that team. So because the 49ers were so great in the '80s. He made me a 49er fan. And as long as I can remember watching football, it was Montana and Roger Craig, and then getting Jerry. I mean, from what time I was like 5 years old, even before Jerry got to the team. So I've been a United fan through and through, and he's jumped ship like I don't even know how many times already.
Wow.
That's
so
crazy.
so right now we don't know who your father's a fan of.
Yeah, well, you see, he's always going to stick with the 49ers in some way, but in another way, he's going to root for, and he loves Patrick Mahomes, obviously. So
yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
That's funny. That's funny. Next question for you. And I kind of got into it a little bit with you with your co-host. How did the three of you guys, come together to do this 3rd and 3 podcast?
A totally unplanned event, like completely unplanned. I was doing my own solo show. I had Nikki on one week. I'm like, oh, that went pretty well. I'm like, we'll hook up again. We'll do something. And then Damien I had on the next week, just pure coincidence, nothing with nothing. And I'm like, damn, we had good chemistry right there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to holler at both of them. I'm going to see if they want to do one together. Let's just see how it works.
Yeah.
So the three of us just jumped on. We did a show, and we're like, that's what's up right there. We're like, we felt it, all of us. We're like, the chemistry was there. We came up with the name 3rd and 3, and we're like, you know what? Here we go. It's going to be a football show, but we'll mix in some, pop culture and have fun and do all that other good stuff. And yeah, man, 3 years later, here we are, and we're still doing it. We got a show tomorrow.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Go ahead, Maestro.
No, I'm not ready, man. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, I guess I'll get into it. And again, condolences to your 49ers on Sunday. We kind of talked about the quarterbacks going down, and everything just kind of fell apart after that. With the offseason now, what's going to be the move? Because everybody's
Hold on, Trey. I'm sorry. I'm here now.
What's up?
I missed the recap. What were your thoughts on the game? I need to know.
Oh, gosh. Jeez. Well, I mean, there's really not much to think of after your starting quarterback, really your 3rd string quarterback goes down in the first freaking series. So
yeah.
It was over right there and then. I knew that Josh Johnson wasn't going to come in and do anything great against this Philly Eagle defense. I mean, that defense is too good. I didn't expect nothing out of him. So I am mad at Josh Johnson for coming in and then getting concussed. And then Brock Purdy's got to come back in. He can't even throw the ball. I mean, it was just a hot mess. So, literally knowing that you're going to sit through misery for 3 hours and you can't not watch it because it's your team. That's what that was like. I'm like, damn, I have to sit here and watch this whole damn thing knowing exactly what's going to happen.
You're a dedicated fan, because there's no way in hell I would have watched that game. There's no way in hell I would have watched that.
Wait, so you're not a dedicated fan? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, look, I'm gonna say no, because look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Damn.
There's a few games this year that I have cut off out of sheer frustration, like the Eagles game. Cut it off. I ain't. Yeah, that was a good thorough ass whipping. I don't need to see that. The Buffalo game, saw early. This is gonna be a thorough ass whipping. Cool. I'm good on that. I don't like defeat too crazy. I don't like. Man, it's not that I can take defeat. I don't like when we're not even in the league of the other team. I'm not even. I don't even know how to deal with that as a Steelers fan. I am 40 and wasn't even ready to grasp football until like the 90s. So when I really got into football, Pittsburgh was a playoff team. We were in the Super Bowl in '95. We were, even though we didn't get to the bowl again to like 2004, we were still like a perennial playoff team, and we had hopes and those types of things. So I'm not really super used to getting blown out. I'm sure we've had some blowouts over the years, but I'm not used to getting blown out at all, and I don't like it. So if that's lack of dedication, then guilty.
I think during a regular season game, it's definitely more acceptable to turn it off. And I think that I probably would too. If being the fact that it was the NFC Championship, I was like just praying to every god from my religion to other religions, like everything.
Right.
I was praying to anybody I could, man. I'm like, make something good happen.
Yeah, I was really if I was saddened by it. I mean, I picked Philly to win, but I certainly had a parlay, a very achievable parlay. I felt like had Brock Purdy played the game healthy, and so I wasn't having a good Sunday, man. I wasn't.
Yeah, it would have been a better game. There's no doubt. It would have been a much better game that Brock Purdy played. There's no question. That's why I feel so robbed. Like, I know the 49ers are good enough to get to the next level and have this rematch with Kansas City that I was hoping for, but they only play once. It ain't like baseball. It ain't like basketball. It ain't like hockey. You only get one freaking try at the game. There's no 7-game series, man. It's a killer.
And then that put a little extra. And then it puts a little extra sauce on it because you, as a 49er fan, you have to kind of feel like you was an overthrow away from winning the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, for sure, man. You kidding me? And look, being up 10 points in the fourth quarter with that defense, we're like, yeah, we got to do this. But then Patrick Mahomes is on the other side. And then last year, we're in the NFC Championship game, and we could have won that damn game had Jaworski Tart, our safety, held on to that interception. We could have gone to the Super Bowl again. So we're like, 3 out of the last 4 years, we've been right there every time, and it's just something has happened.
Yeah, I would say too, man. I thought about this earlier, like going back to those Kaepernick years with Harbaugh. I think every year y'all made the playoffs, y'all was in the conference championship game.
And we went to the Super Bowl against those Ravens, against your Ravens.
Right, yeah. It seemed like every time y'all get to the playoffs, y'all always, that ceiling is always either the Super Bowl or the title game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we go boom or we bust. That's pretty much what happens. That's the way we go. The 49ers are in it. They get deep, but there are years we're going to win like 5 games. And gosh, I don't know what's going to happen next year. That's a whole nother story with the quarterbacks, man. Purdy's going to have surgery. Trey Lance should be healthy. And you got to think, guys, like, I would love to hear your opinion, but we still have a lot invested in Trey Lance. I know it's year 3, all right, but we gave up a lot of draft picks and everything to get him. So I still think that with Purdy being injured, they're going to have to give Trey Lance a shot at being the starting quarterback.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Look,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Nah, you go ahead, man. You cook.
So I put this on Twitter earlier, and I'm hearing a lot of, I don't trust Trey Lance. I'm hearing that a lot through mainstream media today, yesterday, and I'm like, wait, I mean, y'all basing this off of injury, or y'all basing off of this how Brock Purdy looked? Because if you're just basing it off of the injury, then I can't say that I can't trust Trey Lance. I haven't seen enough of him to be like, I don't trust him, in these moments. Now, like you said, they give up a lot to go trade for him in the draft and go pick him up. If that's your dude and you spent a lot of assets to go get him, then you got to rock with the kid. That's just how I see it.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I agree too, but I see the other side of it, and I get, they say Brock Purdy is going to be 6. Is it Brock Purdy who's going to be 6 months into the season before he
I
get
believe
right?
6 or 7 months, I think, was the timetable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look, I don't know who's better at this stage of the game because I haven't seen enough of Trey Lance, but Brock Purdy is certainly the cheaper quarterback when it's all said and done right this second. And that dude did what he did, and then you still got Garoppolo, and obviously you still feel like, well, maybe they're going to get rid of him. They should get rid of him. But, I mean, we were saying the same thing last year. Mm-hmm. So,
well, he's a free agent, so they're just going to let him walk. I think they're going to let him walk.
That would be sensible.
Yeah.
That would be sensible, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Jason, I imagine you would have a better idea of what goes on in that front office. And I mean, clearly y'all got a great front office. I mean, the results speak it itself. But I mean, there is I won't say a big controversy or a big issue at quarterback to deal with, but there is an issue. I guess
It's
this
definitely
is
an issue.
these are definitely not these are like first world problems though. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a good problem to have.
It's an
I think
issue through no fault of the 49ers. I mean, let's just be clear about that. I mean, it's been injuries at that spot, for a few years now. It's no fault of the 49ers.
I think a big thing with Jimmy is Garoppolo going to be a starter on another football team? If he's not, then the Niners may want to think about keeping him around as a backup and not as a starter, but that's a pretty damn good backup.
Exactly.
The question is Jimmy going to go be a starter somewhere? And I can't go through all the teams in my head right now, but I don't really see it happening, even though he's been linked to a couple of teams here and there. Like, I don't think he's going to the Jets. I don't think he's going to go to, the Raiders are going to have an open spot right now. I think you're going to be looking at other players. Colts. Yeah. I just don't see teams really going crazy for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, because in my personal opinion, I mean, he was in two systems in New England and a system in San Fran where, I mean, obviously you have to have some type of a skill to play quarterback in the NFL, period. But it seems anybody who steps into that system, more so 49ers than New England, they achieve some type of success that seems sustainable. Trey Lance in his short time showed promise. Obviously, what Brock Purdy's done this year, and obviously Jimmy G for the past however many years, 4 or 5. We talking about Super Bowl and all these things. So I agree with you that maybe he's not a starter, and particularly with the teams that seem like they might have a quarterback opening. I don't see him going to the Colts and being good. I hate to be that guy. I feel like he's going to be just like all the other quarterbacks in the past 2 or 3 years. Like he's just going to come in and be bad, honestly. Maybe with that running game though, but all that to say, I don't know, man, because here's the other part. Trey Lance is cheap as a rookie. Brock Purdy's cheap as a rookie. I mean, then can you stomach? Would he take a pay cut, or can you stomach what you're paying him? Well, he's a free agent, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
at that point, I think you just make him test the market, and if nobody's out there that's willing to give him
value, obviously goes down.
Right, it goes down, right. And then it goes back to the 49ers. It goes back to their side, and now they could be like, okay, here's $19-20 million here, 2-year deal, that kind of a thing. And I think you'll have your 3 quarterbacks.
That makes perfect sense. It does. Yeah. He knows the system, obviously, and we see quarterbacks get hurt all the time. The 49ers, we got 4 quarterbacks hurt this year. So the value of a backup quarterback cannot be overestimated. I mean, I'm telling you, it is really important. I mean, even look at Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. I mean, Chad Henne comes in there. The dude's 37 years old. He's been in the league for 9,000 years, and he comes in and he drives him down for a 99-yard touchdown.
Absolutely.
You got to have a guy like that. You do.
Yeah. And quite frankly, there's not a lot of teams who have that backup quarterback who can come in and give you a couple of drives when, just come in cold and give you a couple of drives. I mean, that's something. That's value. There's value to that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's going to be a great talking point when if emphatically he has to come back to the 49ers or if the 49ers say, hey, we thinking about maybe keeping you, what's your price? Like that the price that's going to be involved. That's definitely going to be involved.
No doubt. You ain't gonna get started with money.
Yeah, no, you good. But test the market. I think somebody will pick him up and he'll just be bad next year. That's what I think will end up happening.
He'll start. You think he'll start?
Do I think he'll start? I'm gonna say yeah. I don't know where.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
I guess it depends on the team too.
He's been good, but even though it's in a system, he's been good enough statistically.
Yeah.
To start somewhere.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Like what? Do you think there's a team somewhere that says, well, we're a mediocre to maybe a little bit above average quarterback away where they think that Jimmy Garoppolo would be the answer? I just don't see
the Jets. The Jets,
they could be getting Aaron Rodgers, which is possible, but the Jets,
right?
That would be a comfortable situation, and that's the system he was kind of used to. But now Mike LaFleur is out of there, so I don't know what kind of system they're going to run now. But
and And then let's say, not even to cut you off, but let's say theoretically Aaron Rodgers does go. I know Jordan Love's there, but is Jimmy G an insurance policy in Green Bay?
I didn't think about that. That's
possible.
interesting. That's
Jordan
interesting.
Love, he ain't been fire. He ain't been great in the playtime he's had in Green Bay.
That's interesting. Because it's not like when Aaron Rodgers was on the bench. Because if you remember, Maestro, when Aaron Rodgers was on the bench for Brett Favre, everybody was talking about, ooh, Aaron Rodgers. Like, the anticipation was, like, up this high for Aaron Rodgers when he was on the bench. It ain't like that for Jordan Love. We ain't hear nothing about, no great things about him all throughout these years of him being on the bench.
I think what happened was is Aaron Rodgers got injured for a couple games and Jordan Love had to came in. That's when the hype died.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And when Aaron Rodgers, I remember a game against Dallas, Brett's final year, where Aaron Rodgers had to come in for Brett Favre, and he actually had, he did a great job during that game. It did his thing, did his thing. They lost the game, but he did his thing, whatever. So I guess that does make a difference.
Yeah. I can almost. I feel like if I really thought about it, I could pinpoint when we realized, okay, Jordan Love is just a guy. Like he's not going to come in, he's not going to be the heir apparent right away type thing.
Yep.
I think it happened pretty soon. Like I think it happened pretty soon after him being drafted.
Right, it did. It definitely did. So Jay, I'm hearing this too in regard to the 49ers. So everybody's talking about they should go get Tom Brady. I'm not sold on that. I don't think Brady's the savior for y'all right now. What do you think?
You see that jersey right there? That number 12? It's taken. It is taken, Tom. You cannot have it. It is taken. My name is on there, okay?
I know that's right.
I don't want Tom's 46-year-old ass crippling in there freaking. No, I don't want it. All right, we can run our system with much better players at this point. Because you know what? Look, Tom Brady, God bless him. The guy is the GOAT. There's no doubt about it. I mean, however you want to slice it, the man he's won 7 championships, been to 10 freaking Super Bowls. That is insane.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
He holds all sorts of records that may never be broken, except for a guy like Patrick Mahomes who may be creeping around because he's going to his 3rd Super Bowl now. But the point is that Brady can't do it no more. And he's getting too old and frustrated too quickly and not as much of a team guy anymore. We don't need somebody like that coming in and messing up the team chemistry. I'm telling you, because you know what? The defense is going to hate him for not making plays, and they're going to be on the field too long. I don't want it. To answer your question, no. I don't want Brady. I'd rather go with Purdy or even see what Lance has. I'd probably honestly rather even have freaking Jimmy Garoppolo at this point.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Tom's done. That's it. He's done.
Yeah, you got to be ready to kind of mortgage. Everybody got to be sold on in Tom Brady at this stage for Tom Brady to play anywhere in the NFL right now. Like, you got to be a bad team or a team that's just like, all right, hey man, this your last hurrah. We ain't got nothing to play for. You ain't got nothing to play for. Let's just see what happens, type of thing. Cause then you all like it's kind of like what they did with Tampa Bay. You automatically gotta, as soon as you can't put weapons around them. You got to build a line. Like, you got to kind of do those things really fast in the offseason because if you can't protect Tom Brady, he's no good to you. Yeah. If you can't run the ball, he's no good to you. He's no good to you. Yeah. So, I mean, we saw it. We saw it. And thankfully for him, the rest of the NFC South was trash. But if anybody was just a little bit halfway decent, Tampa Bay not even in the playoffs this year. So,
right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And they almost weren't. Carolina was beating them again.
Right on their ass.
Game, and then Mike Evans catches 3 touchdowns, and Tom Brady he just threw the ball up in the air as far as it could. And Mike Evans went to go get it. That's all that was.
Shame on the Carolina Panthers for giving that up.
Really?
Yeah, shame on them. Shame on them, because I would have much rather. And look. Dallas would have smoked Carolina too, but I'd have much rather seen Carolina get smoked than Tampa Bay.
No doubt. I mean, Brady's had his run. It's enough. I really don't think he's coming back at this point because I think that he finally realizes that he's not even a top 10 guy anymore.
Right.
And that's you know,
that's gotta
he don't-
hurt.
Yeah, man, for sure it's gotta hurt. But you know what? He shouldn't have no shame. He's going to be 46 years old in a few months, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Man has no shame. He's going out as on top as anybody can be on top.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look at the playoff round, the divisional round. You had 8 quarterbacks younger than 27 years old. I mean, I think it tells you right there that, yo, man, it's a young man's game right now, like at the quarterback spot.
The problem is that he the type of cat that'll see that and be like, oh, well, I'm the exception and keep trying to play.
Yeah. Like,
Good
sound
point.
like, sound like Brett Favre.
It sounds like Tom Brady's who it sounds like.
The fire still burns. Right.
Yeah.
Look at who we got in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Both can throw. Both can run. Both are really athletic. It's a different game now, man. Your quarterbacks got to be athletic at the quarterback spot. You have to be.
Have to be.
Oh, yeah.
Have to be. I'm sitting here thinking about who's the last one-dimensional quarterback. Like, is it Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Because you know what? Even Joe Burrow's not one-dimensional. He can move. He doesn't run a lot. Joe Burrow's like your prototypical stand in the pocket quarterback, but he can still
move.
Yeah, he can move. He tried to shake and bake somebody the other night.
Oh, he ain't tried. He took Slim Soul. He took Slim Soul. Like, nah, that wasn't an attempt. He said,
I was like, oh, snap.
That boy bad. He ain't Mahomes yet, but that boy bad.
Yeah, like kind of like Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen, he's not Mahomes, but the guy is so huge that it's hard to get him down, and the guy can hurdle you. Like that's the crazy part about him.
He's starting to remind me more of like a new age
right?
Baron. Yeah, He took it right out. But
like who?
Roethlisberger. Josh Allen is starting to remind me of Roethlisberger more like a new age.
I agree with you. I agree because I always compared Roethlisberger to John Elway, so I go back to John Elway as being like the grandfather of that style.
Right.
I definitely agree with you guys. Roethlisberger is the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Josh Allen, I always say this. Now, again, I'm a Steelers fan. Like I got a jersey and a frame of Roethlisberger behind me. But I think I always tell people. I mean, obviously he won the Super Bowls, but his Hall of Fame career started when he decided to be dumb enough to just throw to Antonio Brown in double coverage all the time. Like it's nothing. There was nothing super cerebral about his game. He just was get it to your best guy and let them make it happen. It's kind of like what Josh Allen is doing with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, because you know what? Pittsburgh, they didn't throw the ball downfield that often. Maybe they took a shot once or twice a game, but everything was, over the middle, hitches and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So you're right. Yeah. I don't remember Big Ben, wheeling it down the field much. So you're 100% right.
Yeah.
But hey, if I had Antonio Brown, I'd order double, triple coverage too.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it's
what a shame, man. Antonio Brown, we could be talking about him as one of the greatest wide receivers that ever freaking
Man, I think about it all the time. I think about it. I really do think about that a lot. Look, I don't know what was the straw that broke the camel's back in Pittsburgh and him. I imagine at some point they just got tired of dealing with his shit because clearly there was shit going on. But man, if he could have stayed there and got together, I think about that because Juju Smith-Schuster was the perfect number 2.
Yes.
He was the perfect number 2 in Pittsburgh. And he had to go on and do what he had to do. And now Juju think he a number 1. But he had to find out early he really wasn't a number 1 because people was locking him down and he don't really know how to get open with number 1 cornerbacks. And now he's kind of being a number 2 in Kansas City on his way to a Super Bowl. It's like, man, that could have been Pittsburgh. It could have been Pittsburgh. I don't know, man.
The numbers are still there, though. The numbers, and you and me and Maestro, we had this conversation before. The numbers are there, and I think he's a Hall of Famer. Now the question is,
but they'll still fake on him. They'll still fake on him.
They're gonna keep him out all because of all the extra stuff that happened in Tampa, the Raiders, the Patriots, and all that stuff. It's sad. I gotta.
He definitely won't be a first ballot. I think he'll get in, but he definitely won't be first ballot.
That I agree with. He definitely won't be first ballot, but the numbers are there. Like it's clear as day. Like how many seasons over 1,000? yards, like 10.
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah,
Something like crazy. Yeah, like 7 or 8 in a row.
7 or 8. Yeah, I'm thinking it's like 7 or 8.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm thinking it's like 10.
They had him like consecutively. But here's the thing, they kept T.O. out of the Hall of Fame for 3 years.
Right.
They're gonna do Antonio Brown just like he
way
did
dirtier.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, he's just gonna have a tough time getting in.
AJ
go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, my bad. I wanted to kind of get this topic out the way here. 49ers fan. Who's your top 5 players in 49ers history all time for you?
Top 5. Well, all right. Well,
hold on, Trey. Before you go, I gotta preface. So sometimes when guests give these top 5s, I'm gonna tell the story every week that we do a top 5. I get calls. Hey man, who the fuck is that person on such and such? Talking about him, but he forgot him and him and him. I'm like, hey, bro, it's not me. That's their list. What you want me to say is that. So I'm just warning you that if it's about 3 people, it's about 3 people that see us repost the clip from this, and I'll get a phone call, man. He don't know shit.
All right, at least I know what I'm in for right now when I give it. Damn, I should have really thought about this question. You should give me a minute. No, but I gotta be. You know what? If it's my favorite, then
it's your favorite.
It's your list, man. It's your list.
My favorite.
That's your shit.
Exactly. So you know what? I love billions of Niners players. Well, not billions, ridiculous. Thousands of 49ers players. But my top 5 favorite are definitely Rice and Montana. I mean, that's probably in everybody's, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Steve Young is in there for me because him and Randall Cunningham were the first 2 running quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with both of them. Him and Cunningham, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, these guys are great. So watching Young do that. But then it goes to Frank Gore. And I know that's not maybe a popular.
That's not popular. Yeah.
He was a tank for us. I mean, every year he'd be rushing for over 1,000 yards, no problem, just doing all the dirty work, not complaining, not saying a damn thing. Mm-hmm. 3 down back, everything. So love Frank Gore and his heart and everything he gave to us. And man, we had a linebacker that's probably going to get in the Hall of Fame either this year or next year, and that's Patrick Willis.
Patrick Willis, yes, sir.
Patrick freaking Willis was such a good cerebral and tough, smart, speedy linebacker. He had it all. And when Navarro Bowman got there, those 2 guys were killing it. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you who's creeping in my top 5 right now is Debo. I fucking love Debo.
Yeah. Okay.
He is just unreal. That guy, I've never seen a football player like him in my entire life. He is like a robot or something. I don't even understand how he does what he does. The yards after catch are unbelievable with this guy. I thought T.O. was the greatest I've ever seen. It might be deep.
Wow. That's a strong comment.
It is because T.O. man, after the catch, he was unreal. I mean, he was so hard to bring down, but Debo, same thing. Like, you can't bring this guy down. And he takes it out of the backfield, everything. So he's creeping in that top 5. I don't know who I'm going to kick out because there's so many great 49ers.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot.
That's the hard part. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
I'll say this, I was just having a conversation about Deebo Samuel's Monday, because I had money on Philly and I was just rewarded with my prize earlier this week. We was having a conversation and I was saying that Deebo Samuel's could be a top 10 receiver in the league, but I think it gets taken. Some of it gets taken away from him because because he plays running back sometimes, because of the impact that he has at running back.
That's totally true. There's no doubt about it. If he doesn't get a lot of targets. That's the thing. So you're 100% right. If he got the targets like AJ Brown was getting, or name a top wide receiver in the league, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams. If he was getting double-digit targets, he would have a lot more yards. He does. He makes the most of what he gets, which is not a whole lot because we like to spread the ball around. So I agree, man. If he had more targets, he would be more up there. Because look, he had 1,500 yards receiving last year. That's a lot. I was only, I think, 80 catches or something like that. So that tells you everything you need to know.
And not that Ayuk isn't good, but there seems to be an emphasis on Ayuk. It seems like getting him the ball.
You're right. They do want to get him the ball because you
Yeah.
know what? He's a good player, and they need to get the ball in his hands. And that's the thing. We got McCaffrey, we got Kittle, we got Debo, we got Ayuk. There's so many players to get the ball to, so it's hard to keep everybody, fed all the time. Happy exactly. But if you're winning, that's the ultimate elixir. Then players don't care as much. If you're a team player, then it's like,
Right.
you know what? We're winning the game. I'm happy. I'll be a decoy. It doesn't matter because we're going to go on to the next stage. And that's how our 49ers, this team, that's the way they're built. That's how they think. That's why you never hear anything coming out of that locker room. Not a peep. In years, you haven't heard anything come out of that locker room, any sort of bad talk. Nothing happens like that because they're a together unit.
Yeah, I agree. I got one more, and Frank Gore, agree with you. I'm just saying that he got his ass knocked out by Darren Williams in a celebrity boxing match. So it's got, like as good and as of a Hall of Fame career that Frank Gore is. My lasting memory, unfortunately, is that man hitting the canvas, and that has nothing to do with football. It's the ignorance and.
That like breaks your heart seeing something like that.
It did, man. Because I legit, and me and Trey talked about it when it was going on. I said, man, Frank Gore is going to beat the dog shit out of Darren Williams. Like I was highly confident, and let's be clear, I didn't watch the fight, but the knockout was all over. Obviously. So
right.
Yeah. So Jay, so I'm gonna tell you my opinion about the fight too, because you know this because you from New York and stuff, and I don't know if you remember when Darren Williams was with the Nets for those years when they made the Paul Pierce, the Kevin Garnett trade, but cats back home used to say Darren Williams was soft and stuff, and so that's part of why. It didn't work out with the Nets. He ended up, being out the league and doing what he was doing with the wrestling stuff. I said, man, Frank Gore is going to beat this dude down. Darren Williams ain't got the smoke for this guy. And I see these highlights and I'm like, damn, this dude really about that.
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing. You never know who you're messing with these days, man, especially with all this UFC, MMA stuff out there. Like, you can look at somebody and be like, I could take that dude. Next thing you know, you've been twisting up like a pretzel, man.
That's why I get a gun.
Yeah.
I got 30 seconds. I tell people all the time, I got about 30 seconds of wreck in me. If we ain't ready to stop fighting in 30 seconds, man, it's over for me. I ain't got
just gonna wave it.
Right, we get too tired, man. I'm with you. I'm too tired. I can't be going in no 30 seconds.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, what are we even fighting for? I forget what. I'm not even mad after 30 seconds.
Can't shoot the fair one no more. But hey, Jay, I got a player for you, man. Charles Haley was very, very impactful. And you could kind of tell too, not just with you guys, but when Dallas, and I guess that was a trade. If I remember correctly, when they traded for Charles Haley, like you kind of saw that immediate impact and how they got their Super Bowls as well. So that's a name that I thought you would have said too.
Trey, I thought about him, and the only reason why I couldn't put him in there is because he was a Dallas Cowboy too.
Exactly.
The only reason why.
The rival at the time.
Yeah. If it was, honestly, if it's almost any other team, I'm cool with it. But it's the freaking Cowboys, man. Not happy. They're a rival forever and ever. Think about those 90s games that we had going. Oh my God, come on, man. Pure hatred for that team. And I love that we took them out 2 years in a row in the playoffs. I love it.
Yeah, I actually had Dallas beating y'all last week.
That was your mistake, man.
And I tried to tell him. I said,
hey,
bro, like,
that game was close though, but I mean, Dak, he turned the ball over and you knew it was downhill from that point on. So
Dallas defense played really, really good.
Yes, really good.
Yep.
They played real good. I mean, it was only 19-12 that game. So 49ers defense obviously did their thing too. But Dallas, they were nice, man, on defense.
Yeah.
It was like I said going into the game though. Brock Purdy knows what his assignment is, and he don't step outside of it.
Right.
He knows clear about what to do, what not to do, how to do it, when not to do it. Dak Prescott's so talented and has been kind of given the reins at quarterback that he'll do something outside of the scheme of things to make a play because he's Dak Prescott. And like you said, and like you saw, he made some mistakes. He's going to give you that. He's going to give you a mistake. Brock Purdy is less likely to give you a mistake because he's not going to do anything based on his skill. He's going to do it based on what the scheme of football asks you to do. And that's how they've been winning. That's why the system is so good. That's why the 49ers have been a winning team for as long as they've been. And that's why they can bring in Trey Lance, Jimmy, whoever, and say, hey, if you do this, you're going to be all right. And the proof is in the pudding, man. You got to give props to Kyle Shanahan, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, that's a great call. And that's why he should be in the running for Coach of the Year. He did a great job this year, and nobody's really talking about the job that he did with the third string quarterback.
Right.
And getting everybody to buy into the system and, just being that one whole – you're 100% right about this team. I mean, we had everything. And Brock Purdy, like you said, he came in and he just did his job. He didn't do anything crazy. He didn't get scared. He was confident, which is something you have to have if you're playing quarterback position. So he had that, and the players bought in around him. And it's like, you know what? Just throw the ball to the open guy. You've been throwing the football since he was, 5, 6 years old? Throw it to the open guy, and that's all he had to do, and that's all he did, and he did it really well. And that's why it's such a shame that he went out in that game, man.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah. And credit to the Eagles' defensive line, too, because I thought that they were going to be fine for a little bit when Josh Johnson came in. But, I mean, you saw it with the plays that they tried to get Debo the ball in certain situations. Every time Debo got the ball and tried to do a run around or try to escape some pressure, they wasn't getting no yards, man. I mean, that Eagles defense just wasn't letting up.
I don't want to twist the knife on you a little. I don't want to twist the knife on you crazy. Hassan Reddick is a problem.
Woo! Yeah. And how are you gonna go ahead and block him with the tight end and think that's
I sat there and watched like maybe Johnson's second or third play in, and Hassan Reddick tried to kill that man. The ball failed and everything, and he tried to kill that man. We thought for a second it was a fumble, and he came up and rolled up on top of him and came up with the ball. Hassan Reddick tried to kill that man. Man. That was an
off-season move by the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles got him in the offseason. That is an underrated signing right there.
Man, talk about it. I think about if I'm not mistaken, I know he was in Pittsburgh. Don't quote me as that we drafted him, but he was definitely in Pittsburgh in his earlier years.
You mean like on a practice squad kind of a thing, or?
Yeah. But he was definitely on our team early on, and it didn't pan out. But I'm looking at it now, like, what the hell did we miss? How did we get this on the field?
Yeah, y'all had Devin Bush out there.
Now you twisting the knife a little bit. Man.
Hey, Jay, man. We appreciate this time, man. This was great, man. Let everybody know what you got coming up. You got the 3rd and 3 podcast with Nikki and Dame. Let everybody else know what you got going on there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I had a great time talking with you, fellas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good times. We could do this anytime you all want. 3rd and 3 podcast. We're on every Wednesday night, so we're on tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern. Come in with your comments. We're going to be doing some crazy stuff tomorrow. We're going to be doing like Pro Bowl for podcasters, and we're going to come up with all these crazy games and stuff, and we're going to have a good time with it. We'll talk about the conference championships and all that good stuff. And then the Power 32 podcast, that's my solo show. That's usually done on Friday nights, and that's all football and all 32 teams. Anything goes. So I love the comments when people come in. I do have guests on here and there, and I got to talk to you guys more for sure. Trey, Maestro, man, you guys are awesome to talk to football
Appreciate it, love.
I need to have you all on my show for sure and reciprocate the favor, because this is good stuff right here. You guys do a good job. I love it.
Thank you, man.
Oh, man, no doubt. Hey, one more thing. And Maestro, I'm not sure if you saw this, but when I was trying to set up this interview with Jay here, I told him, hey, if you want to talk Knicks, we could do that. And he was like, look, man, I don't want to talk basketball. I want to talk football. And I was like, hey, I get it. I understand. It's technically still football season. So I totally get it.
I saw it and was like, "Yep, I agree with that."
I understand. I get it. I get it, bro. But yeah,
Because all I know about the Wizards out there, we trash right now. That's all I know about the Wizards right now.
I'm saying, like, I know what my Knicks are doing. I understand. And you know what? We had a nice win over the Celtics the other night, and I feel good when I get to watch that stuff. But I'm not getting too high and crazy about it. It's like, I know what's going to happen at the end. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not fully immersing myself in the NBA until that final snap in the NFL.
Yeah. Hey, first round series, we go out in the first round 7 games.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, that's what we do.
I think that's well, it was bad the last time we was there. Like Trey Young took us out in 5. Like
oh my God, man.
Like I can't. Nah, it can't. We can't go out like that again. Like if we go out like that again, it's a failure. Like for me,
I'm not trying to play Philly, Boston. I don't want to play. I'm not trying to play Milwaukee in the first round. Like to me, I just want to be out. I don't even want to bother with it. I want to play them.
Wow.
The Nets are coming on right now. I hate the freaking Nets. They're coming on.
Yeah,
I do. I've always hated the Nets. I hated the New Jersey Nets, and when they moved to Brooklyn, to where I was born, I still didn't give a shit. I'm like, I still hate it.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's real facts right there. I wasn't rooting for no Nets when it came to the boroughs. So, but hey man, it's been fun, man. We appreciate you, man. We got to do this again.
Yeah, tap in. We definitely need to do your show. So yeah, let's try to tap that in.
Yep.
Without a doubt. Yep. And anything will be on the table. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk both of y'all teams. Hey, you guys must have a freaking blast, man. You both in the AFC North. You must go at it like crazy.
Yeah, man. We fight, man. We
it's
fight.
It's fun, man. We fight differently off camera, but we fight.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it on camera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we'll get that going. All right. Well, fellas, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Salute. Appreciate you.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man.
All right. I'll check y'all.
Peace. That was the homie Jason Feirman right there. 1/3 of the 3rd and 3 podcasts with Nikki and Dane. Make sure y'all check them out. Facebook Live, they do that every Wednesday, and then you can follow them on Twitter and stuff. So Maestro, what's good, man? What's good?
Out here, man. Out here, man.
Man,
it's been crazy today, man. But we here, man.
Yeah. Just for the people coming in and listening. I don't know what happened, bruh. I'm trying to get the show fired up, and the thing was telling me
it worked out, bruh.
It worked out. The journey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm glad we was able to, get Jason on and, you come in and all that stuff was, a lot of that was great. So,
man, talk about I'm gonna throw a little bit more salt on 49ers. They got, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
All everything considered, it's not their fault that they got their boot smoked.
Yep.
But damn, they got their boot smoked.
Yeah.
They got their boot smoked.
I was conflicted after the game because I'm trying to figure out whether I should feel sorry for the 49ers or whether I wasn't going to shoot them bail. On one hand...
Well, bail should be shot.
Yes, I've come to that conclusion. But here's why I was thinking that I wasn't going to feel sorry for them. Because what's the narrative with the 49ers? The narrative is that they have Debo, McCaffrey, Ayuk, George Kittle. They got all these playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, at tight end, receiver, running back. Offensive line is, a good offensive line. The quarterback spot, as what we've seen over the last 3-4 years with this team, it's kind of been a plug and play kind of a situation.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I understand Josh Johnson has been on 20 different teams and, and all that stuff, but there's a reason why teams keep picking him up. Obviously, he has some sort of, value to a team, but I was still kind of expecting, okay, it's Josh Johnson, but they got these guys on the outside that, can make some plays happen. And then, like I talked about earlier with Debo trying to get some yards and the Eagles defensive line just not giving up anything. It's like damn, and I get that once Purdy came back and the team realized he couldn't throw, the Eagles knew that, and so they just kind of keyed in on that running game to say, hey, we're going to stop it. But then I think back, and I'm like, wait, how many times have we seen the 49ers say, hey, we're going to run the ball even when you know we're going to run it and you still can't stop us? Like, I'm thinking about that Green Bay playoff game, not the one last year, but the one in the conference championship game. I'm thinking about that game where 3rd and 10, 2nd and 10, they was like, look, we running it and ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Yeah, but this ain't Green Bay's defense, bro.
Sure.
Let's be clear about it. Philly was winning in my book, whether Brock Purdy played or not.
Yep, same here.
That defensive line is too good. That offensive line is too good. The only thing I'm upset about as far as the 49ers is that Purdy, like I said, told Jason that Purdy couldn't play because Kittles didn't get his yards for my parlay. That's what I'm upset about. That's what I'm upset about.
I'm sure everybody's parlays was messed up.
Like, my parlay was fucked up. And also my parlay was fucked up because they was smoking the 49ers so bad, there was no need for Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. So they just ran the ball. When they realized, there's really nothing that this team can do with us. Yeah. Man, let's just run this clock out. Yep. We just gonna run the ball.
Let's get to the damn Super Bowl.
He didn't throw for 150 yards, I don't think.
He threw for 120. He threw for 120 something.
So they literally ran the ball. Boston, Scott got a touchdown. Sanders got 2. He got Hurts ran 1.
And Gainwell got a touchdown too, I think.
Okay. Yeah, like it was just it was just nasty. It wasn't gonna. It just didn't go well. I just regret that Purdy got injured because the game would have been at least interesting. Yep. The Eagles would have had to, show their whole offense in order to win the game. They would have had to run it. They would have had to throw it. Yep. And I would have got, and I feel like I would have really got my $5,000 parlay. That's how confident I was. Like I feel like I had like a 7-leg joint.
7 leg. How many legs you get? How many legs you get out to 7?
Out of the 7 now because 4.
4 of them. Okay.
4 of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
damn,
but like I said,
that's still damn good. But
it would. But I'm telling you, I would have got it if Purdy didn't get injured. Kittles was going to get 50 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts was going to throw for 275. That was going to happen.
Damn. Yeah, I'm glad I ain't bet nothing. I'll be honest with you, I didn't have money to bet this weekend.
Man,
so
I did a whole bunch of crazy shit this weekend, man. I did. I won't lie to you.
Well,
did a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Well, I'm glad that the second game was a lot more exciting than the first game.
One time for Patrick Mahomes, bro.
Props to the homie, yeah.
Like I know it's difficult to keep giving somebody so good praise, but I feel like this is an appropriate time to give somebody who is that good praise. That dude, could not run.
Right.
And that's a part of his game. Let's be clear. That's a part of his game. Yep. And Cincinnati likes to bring pressure.
Yep. Here's where I'll give Patrick Mahomes credit. The plays, the run on 3rd and whatever that was before what's his name hit him to win the game. Just being out there, like
he threw for 300 still.
Right. Like just playing and stuff. Because I feel like the Bengals lost this more than Kansas City won it. And the reason I say that is because just when Burrow was getting the ball back those last 2 drives, when it was tied 2020, and you're sitting there thinking like, okay, this is where Joe Burrow, is Joe Shiesty. Like this is where he becomes that dude. And you got to credit Kansas City's defense, particularly Chris Jones. Chris Jones had a great game. And
Frank Clark had a good game.
Clark, he had a good game too. And I think more so credit on the defensive side for Kansas City. More so, and I'd say more so than the Bengals blew it, but the Bengals definitely had their chances. They had their moments to take the lead in that game, and it all just kind of went downhill after the hit out of bounds.
Well, more than that though, you could see areas in the game when you saw Burrow, he was starting to cook,
Mm-hmm.
and then the offensive line. That offensive line
Five
let
sacks.
him down.
Yeah,
that
sacks.
offensive line let him down. But three of them were like key. It was like three of them that were like key. Like
the one on the if it wasn't the last offensive drive, it was the second to last offensive drive.
Mhm,
The one Chris Jones got to him.
Chris
on.
Jones, yeah,
yeah, critical. Critical.
Yeah,
one.
like it's just you are going to waste a generation talent at quarterback if they don't get this together. And it's not to say that they had injuries, so that's one piece.
Yep.
So they have made attempts, but they need to make better. They need to do better. They have to do it.
Yeah.
Because and they got to do it soon if they're talking about winning the Super Bowl. Because Tyler Boyd is a year older. That's your slot guy.
Yeah.
T. Higgins.
He might be gone. He might be gone, bro.
That's some real shit.
I'm hearing some stuff about the Giants signing him.
He's
in free
a number.
agency. Yeah,
they're saying he's a number one talent. And
yeah.
I mean, he certainly got the stat, the height, weight. He certainly got the those types of things to be a number one.
Yep.
I'll say that he hasn't had enough chances because of the relationship between Burrow and Chase.
Yep.
But they're saying he's a number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanna bring up another play too. Shout out my cuz Chris Jenkins in the Facebook live chat. He said O-line, we talked about the O-line, but then he mentions the interception, which was kind of like a punt in a sense, but still that was the drive where you thought, okay, this is where Joe Burrow about to cook. And he gave it back to the Chiefs, and they just kind of lost that momentum on those last two drives there.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was just that when Cincinnati started to cook, Kansas City found a way to get out of it defensively. They found a way to get out of it.
Yep.
I would you saying, because you're right, the Bengals had their opportunities, but I would give more credit to the defense of Kansas City than to Cincinnati absolutely blowing it. But again, that offensive line has got to improve if you're going to, because now we're talking about a Super Bowl. Like, this is legitimately a Super Bowl team. Now we're talking about a window, because now guys are going to want to get paid.
Yep. And they're already talking about a Joe Burrow contract extension. They're already talking about that.
Right.
So.
But I don't know what Jamar Chase money look like, but he's got to get paid as your number one.
Yep.
And you hope that T. Higgins is okay getting paid as a number two.
Right.
But he probably ain't.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, because historically they've talked about the Bengals being cheap, and I think they're gonna have to change that approach when it comes to this football team. I mean, this particular team with Burrow and Chase and the defense. I mean, people have stopped calling them the Bungles. Because of this particular team. They've won playoff games. They've been to a Super Bowl last year.
Yeah. And then we're talking about and then they're still gonna need a pass rusher.
Yeah, right.
They're gonna need another pass rusher.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother issue. So they gotta get the offensive line together, try their best to keep that wide receiver trio together, which is the best wide receiver trio in the league. Yep. I don't know why these conversations are being had anywhere else, but that's the best trio in the league. I'm sorry, I'm a side note. That's why. I am definitely going to side note, but I needed to be on record. I need to know your opinion on the record, because my office is my barbershop that I bring to this show. Yep. Who is a better wide receiver core in your opinion? The Dallas Cowboys or the Washington Commanders? Trio.
Better trio. So we're talking Gallup,
CD Lamb, Noah Brown against Terry McLaurin,
Doxson, and who's the other cat?
Samuel.
Oh, it's the football team. It's Washington football team.
Okay. I took Dallas, and I took Dallas. So I ain't gonna come on here and lie. I took Dallas.
Right.
But they took me to they was getting in my shit about it, and they was like, bruh, like I got called a bandwagoner, even though I'm not a Dallas fan, but my homegirl is a Dallas fan. I got called all types of names, but then they were trying to say, I was like, all right, cool, I can see how y'all feel that way. I let them have it, whatever. Cause in turn they were saying name how many receiving cores are better than Washington.
Oh, the Washington.
Better than Washington. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, first of all, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I mean, second of all, Philly, because it don't even matter who the third guy is. The two guys are better than your.
If
trio.
you want to call Goddard a receiver, I mean that's your third guy. So
well, no, look. I won't even do that. Whoever their third receiver is doesn't matter. It could be me. Mm-hmm. Devontae Smith and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
That's beating the Commanders. That just is in my book.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay, I'll throw another core at you. You tell me what you think.
Yep.
The Vikings.
JJ,
Thielen and 17. I always forget his name.
I forget 17. I forget his name too. Better than who?
Washington.
Oh, it's the Vikings. It's the Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see where you was at with it.
Yeah. JJ. We know what the deal is. JJ above. I mean, and I love Terry McLaurin as a receiver. He can catch anything, but
Terry
JJ
McLaurin
is a different
would
animal.
be a top 5 receiver with a quarterback. I say it all the time.
Yeah,
he'd be a top 5
I agree
with a quarterback.
I agree with that. But like as far as the Dallas Washington like comparison, like for me, McLaurin over CD for me, and Doxson over Noah Brown for me, and I think you could kind of take your pick between Gallup and no, I take that back. I think I pick Gallup over Curtis Samuel.
I'd definitely take Gallup over Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to see what you thought. But getting back to Cincinnati, they need help, man. they need help, meaning not a wide receiver, but they gotta lock some shit down. They're in a Super Bowl contention window right now. Yeah. And if they don't get this together, meaning number 1, the offensive line, and let's say number 2, a pass rusher, and keep these core guys, Higgins, Jamar Chase, the core guys. They're about to fuck around and miss the Super Bowl window, because this is the best that the Bengals have been. I mean, like
since the 80s.
Time they've been in.
Since the 80s.
Yeah, right. Really.
Since the 80s.
Really.
Yeah. I can't even count. I can't even count the Carson Palmer years and the Andy Dalton years, because they haven't gotten this far.
And they just flat out, they weren't this good on paper. Flat out.
Yeah. Ocho Cinco, Hushmanzada, Rudy Johnson, the running back.
Rudy Johnson or Dylan, if you early.
Chris
Dylan
Henry was a good number 3. I don't know, man.
The only person you said that ruffled my feathers was Ocho Cinco, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that Ocho Cinco or Jamar Chase is better than Ocho Cinco, because it's too early in Jamar Chase's career to even have that conversation.
Right.
But nah, give me T. Higgins over right now, and it's early. Right now, and it's early. He's Chase is definitely better than everybody else around there, except for Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
Right now, and I know it's early. I'm taking T. Higgins over Hushmanzada. I'm definitely taking Tyler Boyd over Chris Henry. I'm definitely taking Joe Burrow over Carson Palmer. Maybe
what about Rudy Johnson over Joe Mixon?
Rudy Johnson over Joe Mixon.
Rudy was a bruiser, man.
Rudy was a beast. I don't know if I'm going there. I don't know if I'm taking.
A bruiser. I would take Rudy Johnson over Joe Mixon, even though Joe Mixon can somewhat do some things out the backfield.
Right, and not somewhat. He definitely does it. Like Rudy Johnson, I don't recall Rudy Johnson being that dude out the screen game, but as a runner, I give it to Rudy Johnson right now.
Yeah, and the thing about Ocho, I think his presence made Hoosh a better number 2 and made Chris Henry a better number 3. Not that Chase doesn't do that for Higgins and Boyd, but watching those teams in the early, mid 2000s, that receiving core was a really good receiving core.
I would say give it 2 more years if they can keep it together. Give it 2 more years, and we can. And
We'll
you can
see.
set a schedule.
Yeah. We'll
I
see.
think this receiving core is going to be something special if they keep it together. Whitborough, and it pains me to say it because we got to see him twice a year, but
Hey,
yeah, this receiving core is,
but they got to see us. I'll say it in reverse. We got to see them, but they got to see us too.
hey man,
They still in the AFC North at the end of the day.
Yeah,
They in the AFC. They in the AFC. Let's keep in mind that I guess we'll talk about this Aaron Rodgers thing to New York, but the AFC probably gonna be tougher next season. But the Bengals they gotta stop talking shit because they talk they smack, and you can argue that they had reason to do so. They beat the Chiefs 3 times in the last couple of years. They beat them to get to the Super Bowl. But yeah, they got too talkative, man. Like they even had the mayor come out and say some crazy stuff, and it's like, y'all, just play the game. Just go in there, play the game. It's still Patrick Mahomes, even on one leg. It's still he's still that nigga. Like don't take that, don't take him for granted. So yeah, they got what they deserved. They got what they deserved.
Yeah,
and, I mean,
no disagreement.
To the point where Eli Apple mom had to deactivate her Twitter account.
I am keeping Eli Apple's mom out of this conversation. You can say what you want to say. I can't stop you. You a grown man. I'm not talking about no nigga mama.
I'm not talking about her. Like, I'm not calling her names or anything like that. I'm just saying it got so bad to the point where she had to deactivate her account.
Why would she have to do that, by the way? Do she be talking on Twitter a lot or something?
She do. She talk her shit.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm good with that. Like, hey, you talk your talk. Sometimes you gotta, if you're gonna dish it, sometimes you gotta take it. At the end of the day, I think she was protecting her peace, and I respect that. But Eli Apple was gonna get the smoke.
I mean, look,
he was gonna get the smoke. So, and I didn't think he played bad in the game on Sunday.
I don't think he played great. I think he was just a guy there.
He was he was just there. Like he didn't have any bad highlights or anything like that. So, but yeah, man, get the Bengals up out of here. I was so happy that that they lost that game. And now,
I mean, only thing I was bothered by is that Joe Mixon. Did it feel like they was like planning, like not giving Joe Mixon the ball but giving Feirman the ball? Did it feel that way?
I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to the running game really all that much. It was just more so because the Bengals were down by 10 points, so I was more concentrated
I saw way more Samaje Feirman than I wanted to see, especially because I had Mixon getting 50 yards, and it was irking the shit out of me. It was irking the shit out of me.
How much you think that was? Maybe Kansas City, maybe defensively did something.
I heard Romo say that Feirman has had good games against Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, maybe that was the thinking and the game plan.
Good point.
But I don't care. I needed Mixon to get 50, and they wasn't even handing the ball, and it was irking the shit out of me.
I also thought that Tony Romo was about to say nigga on the broadcast. I showed you the clip on Twitter of the shout out to Van Lathan and what's the girl name? I forget the girl name, but they do the podcast together. He pointed it out too. He even rewound it back. And
hey man, you kind of look like Van Lathan in that picture back behind you, man.
And I'll leave that one alone. I'll leave that to the people to decide and for you to decide. But yeah, I heard it live and I was like, was he about to say nigga? And then, people on Twitter brought it up and I'm like, okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. So, everybody's wondering, okay, like, was he trying to say Niners or anything else? And I'm like, I don't know.
Playing the Niners.
I'm not buying that. Look, I've been to school, and there's a certain way there's 2 ways that you can pronounce the I. There's the N and there's the N. and Tony Romo sounded like he was about to
Is
say
that?
what they call it, the short I and the long I or something like that.
Like igloo,
Something, yes, it's something like that.
Or nigga, yeah.
You get where I'm going with it. Yeah,
right. Yeah, you were just wrong, but cool.
Okay, I appreciate it. But you get where I'm going with it.
I get where you're going. Sure.
There's two different sounds of the I, and the way Romo said it, it was like he was about to say the word nigga.
Look, man. The problem with your question when you sent it to me was once I heard it, I can't unhear it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even notice that happened in the game.
Yeah.
But he started the video saying, "We gonna give him a shot." Does it sound like he said nigga? And then played the video.
Right.
Now all I can hear is this nigga was about to say nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So honestly, so then I sat there and I was like, well, what could he have possibly said that started with an N that makes sense in this scheme of what was being discussed?
Yeah.
Needless to say, I couldn't find a damn thing.
People tried.
Well, what were the attempts? Do you know what the attempts
like
were?
I said, Niners was one.
Yeah, no.
And I'm not buying that.
They played the Chiefs. What are we talking about? Oh, they played the Niners were not involved in this.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like even if you tried to make the excuse that the Niners played earlier in the day, nah. Like I'm not buying that.
No, not at all.
I'm not buying that. There was a couple others that escapes me, but even still, like it just sounded like he just caught himself and forgot that he wasn't around his homies and. Like
who the fuck letting Tony Romo say nigga around him?
Would you be surprised? I'm not accusing him of that, but would you be surprised?
Surprised. I don't know what I'd be. I know I wouldn't be in the room without me punching his face. I know that.
I was gonna say, yeah, you definitely get a punch from me for certain.
Look. First of all, respect to Tony Romo and his. I asked my homegirl, who's a Cowboy fan and a Tony Romo enthusiast, at least as a player.
Yeah.
I showed her the video and was like, "Well, what you think happened?" She was like, "Oh yeah, he was about to say nigga." I said, "All right, well, what happens then? What happens now? Mm-hmm. Should there be recourse for him almost saying nigga, or even slipping or thinking that he was about to say nigga? Because for him to do that on a public broadcast says to me, if he was about to say nigga, then he clearly says it. He clearly says it.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like.
So what's your thought process on that? So now we speculate, and it's speculation. Let's be clear, it is speculation.
Yep.
But I'm just talking about what makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga says nigga. Mm-hmm. So what?
And it kind of goes back to what I said. He forgot that he wasn't around whoever he be hanging around and realized, I'm on a national broadcast, and he corrected it however way he corrected it, but it was about
I'm
slip.
asking you specifically, what's your thoughts on the idea that Tony Romo says nigga? Not on the broadcast, just at home.
Just at home? Oh. That nigga need to get punched in the face.
So
he need to get punched in the face.
An ideal that was brought to me is that if he didn't say it and he just thought it, then no harm, no foul. Mm-hmm. That was a thought that was brought to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, look, at the end of the day, am I going to stop watching CBS broadcast because he almost said nigga on TV? Obviously not. Look, people.
I'm curious if someone is going to ask him about it. I think that may be the next.
Nobody's going to ask him. Nobody's going to ask him.
You don't think nobody's going to say, hey, this is what happened and.
Hey, bro, we ain't blown. We not blown up. We not getting Tony Romo interviews yet. Who do you think that's in the media space that could A, get an interview with Tony Romo, and B, would have the audacity to ask him, "Was you about to say nigga?"
It ain't gonna be no white mainstream media. I can tell you that right now. what if Michael Holley and Michael Smith somehow got an interview with Tony Romo?
See, that's a low blow because I like Mike Holley and Mike Smith. I don't, but I'll answer honestly. I don't know that they would ask him that on a public broadcast, and
because they're on Peacock. Let's be clear about something, because they got more leeway on that show.
Shit. Yes,
right?
I understand.
They got
can
more.
talk that shit. Mm-hmm. I still don't think that he would go on that show and have them ask him the question. I'm sorry, and you know, and I don't think they would ask it. As a matter of fact, I would think that somebody like Tony Romo would have them send questions in before, and be like, "Hey, nah, I ain't answering that. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? I ain't answering that shit. Like, are you crazy? Are you crazy?" I would imagine that Tony Romo, with the job he has, and you know the brand that he represents, he's not going to no show like that where they're gonna be asking him about did he almost say nigga.
Yeah, sure.
And Mike Holley, and respectfully, Mike Holley and Mike Smith got shit to lose at the level that they are with their show. They got shit to lose. I don't think they would go and do it anyway, even if he asked them not to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I guess the only way we hear from Tony Romo is if from Tony Romo himself. If he decided, hey, you know what? I hear people talking. I hear, you know, what people have said about me possibly saying, you know, that maybe
it's not big enough news.
Maybe no, I get it. It's not. In mainstream, it's not. In mainstream, it's not. That became clear to me the same night, because somebody like me is gonna catch it. Somebody like Van Lathan's gonna catch it. But nobody, you know, on, you know, sports talk radio was even daring to talk about that. So
right.
So
I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
To the same point.
Yep.
Let's speculate some more. If he came, let's say he came out and was like, "Yeah, I almost said nigga and I caught myself." What's your thoughts?
It's gonna be the same. He need to get punched in the face, and he need to.
So he needs to get punched in the face, even though he didn't say it, but almost said it.
Well, like you said earlier, it's clear that, or I would assume that if he slipped up, or if that he almost slipped up to say it,
that's something he says.
That it's in his vocabulary to say it away from the broadcast,
and that deserves a punch in the face in your mind.
And in my estimation, yes, it does, because
interesting.
You're not of the culture. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like,
do your kids like Justin Bieber?
No, they don't.
Or your wife?
No, they don't.
She don't listen to no songs? None of them songs?
We listen to some songs.
Yum. That was the Peaches by Peaches Grew in Georgia, whatever that song is. Y'all listen. He's not your favorite artist, but you listen to Justin Bieber songs.
But we've heard his songs. Yes, correct.
Debbie likes Yummy Yum. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm guessing.
I don't think she does.
I'll ask her. Ask her and get back to me.
But I'll ask her.
Justin Bieber said nigga when he was 14. There's a video of him singing nigga in harmony, in unison. And he seems to be forgiven for that from black people. He did it when he was 14. So
okay. And how old is Justin Bieber now?
Well over 20. I don't know. I don't listen to Justin Bieber.
Okay.
But well over 20.
Okay. I was thinking he was like 30. That's what I was thinking.
Maybe. I don't know. That's what I said. That's why I said. Well, I know he's over 20. I don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I know that. Also, are you familiar? This is where you can hold me accountable. Are you familiar with Sabrina Claudio?
I am not.
Okay, Sabrina Claudio is a white girl who makes amazing R&B music. I mean, amazing.
Yep.
Amazing mood-setting R&B music. And she has definitely said nigga earlier on in her life. Like, there are tweets, you know, supporting it, that she says it. I've forgiven her, man. I've forgiven her. Okay. I mean, I don't know her personally, obviously, but the music hold me culpable, because the shit she making, the R&B she's been making, are fucking slaps. I mean, fucking slaps.
Yeah,
And
I
so
hear you. I hear you.
it's so good that maybe it's so good. You know, and I'm a bad person for this. These are my flaws. It's so good that I forgot that maybe she likes to say the N-word.
So,
And I don't know that she still does it now. I'm just
right. But
obviously
you're
people
bringing up a
grow.
moment from her past.
Exactly.
You're bringing up a moment from her past. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So I think maybe if she'd have said it last week or last year, then I'll call you. Yeah, I might call you to the carpet. But then I think what immediately came up was so everybody knows R. Kelly is, going through this stuff. He's in jail and all this stuff. And then radio stopped playing his music. Certain stations and, places around the country have stopped playing his music. TV stopped playing, videos and stuff like that. I've also heard people say, hey, I can separate the art from the person.
Right.
So in the case,
I personally can't.
So in the case of the person that you mentioned, are you separating the music from the person?
I'm accepting that's what she did at one point in her life.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I'm doing.
Okay. I can't. Look,
here's the thing.
I'm not gonna cast stones over here because.
Yeah, sure. And here's the thing. R. Kelly. I hate that I have to revisit this. R. Kelly. To this day, I don't listen to R. Kelly music, and it hurts. I'm not gonna lie to you, it hurts. But I just can't stamp that ever.
Yeah.
I can't stamp it ever. Even
Right.
I don't even know. Like 20 years from now, like they say Elvis used to do filthy shit back in the day. And now he's still Elvis. Like people fuck with his music, whatever.
Right.
Is R. Kelly gonna get that love 20 years from now? Cause R. Kelly, who probably, not even probably, has the best R&B catalog known to man.
It's wild, man.
I don't know. I know I can't. I know I don't know that I'm ever gonna get over that. Like I'm just not gonna listen to R. Kelly anymore. You constantly get like videos on social media from like people back in the 90s. I every now and then you watch somebody from back in the day doing whatever they're doing, and when they playing music, it's R. Kelly.
Right.
And it was like, damn, that joint was a bop back then, but
yeah. I got a good question for you. I got a good question for you too. What about R. Kelly produced songs?
I don't listen to Maxwell Fortunate anymore because R. Kelly wrote that song.
What about Ron Isley and his stuff?
I don't listen to nothing in the 90s. Not no Contagious. Not no.
Right.
Like I don't listen to it no more.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's and I'll bring up another.
And let's be clear. In my defense,
Ron
Isley got a pretty good catalog before then, so that didn't hurt as bad. That didn't hurt as bad.
That is true. That is true. There's another example too. If you're a fan of the Cosby Show, and we've seen what has happened to Bill Cosby with the accusations, the jail time.
Yeah, wasn't no little kids.
We've seen sure. And
I'm just telling you where I differentiate.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, both acts are egregious. I think we can agree on that. That
we
both
can agree
acts
on that.
Are egregious.
Yes.
But I've heard so there's TV One Network pulling the Cosby Show from its lineup for a certain amount of time. There's also other networks that air reruns of black sitcoms pull the Cosby Show from their lineup. And it's the same thing. I can separate the craft from the man. I can separate Bill Cosby's character as a TV dad, as a prominent black TV dad on the Cosby Show, from the actual Bill Cosby, the person.
Yeah.
I don't know where folks stand with that now.
I mean, obviously, there's no, there's team art and there's team ethics. Obviously,
Yep.
while I can't listen to R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I won't listen to R. Kelly. Let me say. My kids like the Cosby Show, and they don't know shit about. They don't know shit about.
They don't know
that.
about it yet. Yeah.
They don't know about it at
Right.
all.
Right.
Well, let me say, if they do, I ain't tell them about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember one day I was talking to my kids about something, and they was talking to me about the Cosby Show, and I'm like, oh shit, where you know about that from? And I'm assuming that their mother ain't tell them because
Right.
they watching the Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll ask you this: do you listen to R. Kelly?
I don't. I don't. I will say though,
is it a conscious decision to not listen to R. Kelly?
It is a conscious decision.
Okay.
I will say though that in my iPhone I have like 800 and something songs in my iPhone, and I can guarantee you that I have
Fiesta in there.
I would say not Fiesta, but I have songs that are either by R. Kelly, produced by him. I mean, I got Tony Braxton's "How Many Ways" on my phone, and that was produced. The remix was produced by R. Kelly, and so I stay away from those songs, even though I actually should delete it from my phone.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I really should delete it, but I've avoided playing them for the most part.
Yeah, I just deleted it. So no harm, no foul. Like I found out that "Fortunate" was written by R. Kelly. I didn't
know that, man.
Yeah, I got it out of there.
Learn something new every day, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we had a couple of head coach hirings today.
I'm sorry, Trey.
What's up?
We forgot about one thing. I forgot about one conversation when talking about the Chiefs and the Bengals. Do you think that Patrick Mahomes is white or black in your book?
He's black in my book.
He's black in your book.
Yep.
Did you see on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
There was a few of these comments or tweets I saw, but there were people after the win saying, these were white people saying, hey, y'all not about to keep claiming, I'm paraphrasing obviously, y'all not about to keep claiming Patrick Mahomes. He white too. Like, so now there is vehemently white people, like how we claim him, he one of us.
Yep.
There's white people now claiming Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
So that you say what?
I say he's interracial. His dad was black. His mother's white. He's interracial. I'll just leave it at that. I got no problem with.
He played like a black boy. He don't play like no white boy.
Look, the hair. The hair.
But his style, even his hair is styled like a black person. Like I get the girls, that's
yes.
I guess stereotypically at least that's white people shit. But he don't look like I don't see no white people that wear their hair like that.
Right, yeah. To me he's black. Look, ain't nobody gonna take away my moment here, bro. I wanted two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, and I got what I wanted.
But there's people out here saying it's 1.5. I'm just telling you what's being said on Twitter.
Okay. I can't.
Everybody, I've seen retweets that say, it's the headline two quarterbacks. I've seen retweets when it say 1.5. I've seen it.
Okay, I can't. In that case, I'm not gonna be hypocritical because we had the Mike McDaniel conversation, previously. So I'm not gonna be hypocritical. But damn it, you're not gonna take this moment away from me.
I mean, that being hypocritical?
What?
What you're about to say?
What? That we got two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. If you're gonna take it from Michael McDaniel, you can't take it.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm not gonna be hypocritical as far as calling out the people that are trying to claim that Mahomes is, his white side. Like I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, take shots at them. I mean, they're right. Yeah. They're right. His mother, who was white, birthed him. I can't argue that. But his dad, who was a famous pitcher for the Mets back in the day, he's black.
Smoking that Joe Burrow pack.
Yeah.
Talking reckless after the game. Like,
talk your
come on,
shit,
bruh.
Talk your shit, Mahomes Senior. Talk that.
Yeah.
So Sean Payton, and they got to work out the trade, because he's still contractually with the Saints, so they gotta work that deal out. So it's gonna be the job of Sean Payton to fix Russell Wilson.
He should be able to fix him now.
I agree. I agree. I think. I mean, and really, I don't even have to bring up the fact that we had Drew Brees, which is sort of a similar height quarterback. Yeah. I don't even have to bring that up. Like, I think Sean Payton has enough clout in this league where his offenses throughout the years has proven to be just that. Like, I think with what they have now, with the weapons they got, and hopefully they keep Jerry Jeudy, I think they'll be fine. I think this will be a different offense.
They will not be contending with the Chiefs, though. In my personal opinion,
for the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could agree with that. Wild card, they should. They should contend for a wild card. Like what'd they go 5-12, something like that. Yeah, to me, you get Sean Payton and maybe make a few more moves here and there. Defense still stout.
They got rid of Chubb.
Well, yeah, that's true. They're gonna have to replace him somehow. But I mean, I could see them going to 9 wins, possibly 10. I think Sean Payton makes that much of a difference.
Okay. Well. Then how do you feel about the Chargers and hiring Kellen Moore?
Yo, this dude had a job just like that, bro. That man was on the street for 5 minutes, and
get to upgrade at quarterback to coach.
Yeah. I actually like that. I like what the Chargers did there. Because I think what's gonna happen too, I think Kellen Moore, and he did this a lot in Dallas, run game. Like that's the thing to me that sticks out. The Chargers are gonna have to run the ball. One of the reasons why they lost to Jacksonville, they didn't run the ball.
I mean, Well, some would say that. I mean, I guess Tony Pollard got injured, but some would say they didn't really do no good job of running the ball with against San Fran.
In that particular game. But I think over the course of his time there, I think his run games have been good for the most part. And I think he comes over to the Chargers, and I think he kind of implements that same thing. Like, hey, we up 27-0. Hey, we'll take our shots here and there, but we're going to have to establish running the ball and, chewing some clock and being able to close these games out. So I like that move. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I don't like it or hate it, if I'm being honest with you. I think, like you said, it's crazy that he gets fired, and before the next day ends, he gets a new job with an upgraded quarterback.
Yeah,
and quite frankly, I won't say upgraded offense, because the Chargers definitely upgraded. I mean, and really an upgraded running game. Give me Austin Eckler over Pollard and Zeke right now.
Yeah, that's true. Jerry tried to get our attention. I don't know if you think this is a coincidence or not, but usually those types of headlines, you firing a coordinator, you don't do that on Championship Sunday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of Eagle fans out there on my timeline that said, hey, they just mad that the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, so Jerry got to announce this news just to take attention away from, which I honestly don't think that they took attention away from the Eagles. I think everybody and their mama knows the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. They're the better team. They're the best team. We'll get to next week who we think is going to win. I think I have in my mind who I think is going to win.
Me too.
Jerry's not he tried. I'll say that. He tried, but
I mean, that's what he do. So
Yep, that's what he does.
I don't expect him to do nothing different.
Nope, nope. This thing with Aaron Rodgers. So looks like the Packers have kind of said, "Hey, we're gonna entertain a trade." The Jets go out and they hire Nathaniel Hackett as their new offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And so now here we go again. It's kind of like with Denver last year. Hey, is the Broncos going to trade for Aaron Rodgers? And then it turns out that wasn't the case. They end up getting Russell Wilson. Here we go again. It's the Jets. It's a hot topic in New York right now. Jet fans, they want Aaron Rodgers. Like they'll do anything to get him to New York. What do you think comes of this? Do you think they end up trading him?
They have no, to answer your question, no.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised. But they do have money.
The Jets, yes, they do.
Yeah, they do have money.
Yes.
I'm not sure of how many assets they have as far as draft status this year, and you know, but I do know they have money. I would imagine in a trade, they're at least giving away like key pieces in that defensive line, because that defensive line was good, and they're young. Quinnen Williams.
If I'm the Packers, that's who I asked for. I agree with that.
Right. I mean, and shit, while you shooting, why not Sauce Gardner at cornerback? Why not?
You asked. But the Jets are going to say no.
Maybe. I don't know. It's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the Jets aren't a good offensive team, but they got good offensive pieces.
Yes.
And it would seem that the issue is quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers, one thing he can do is sling the football.
Yep.
Corey Davis, wants to get the ball. Elijah Moore wants to get the ball. That 17 Garrett wants to get the ball. And he's going to be he's the type of dude
running backs. Breece Hall's going to come back. Yeah.
He's going to make those guys who aren't proven yet. He's going to give them an opportunity to prove themselves.
Absolutely.
That's just what Aaron Rodgers does. He throws the ball. So, I mean, why not? I mean, why not make it interesting in the AFC East? Why not make it interesting?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But to answer your question, I don't think it's going to happen.
So you think he plays in Green Bay next year?
I think he plays in Green Bay or retires.
Okay. I think this trade happens. I sometimes I try to block the noise out because Jet fans get a little crazy sometimes, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, I know it made sense last year when Denver got him, but for some reason this year, it kind of makes sense. Like I heard somebody say this, and I didn't think of it this way. So this is basically following Brett Favre's footsteps, right? Because he got traded to the Jets for that 1 year. It didn't work out because he hurt his shoulder, I think, but still tried to play through it and basically cost the Jets the playoffs that year. And then, he was a free agent and went to Minnesota and all that and almost got him to the Super Bowl and all that. This one person said, hey, we know Aaron Rodgers don't like Brett Favre. Like, they don't have a really good, relationship or, not a good history, right?
Right.
He was saying, hey, what if Aaron Rodgers is trying to prove something to say, hey, I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to go to the biggest market and do what you couldn't do and deliver a championship to Gang Green. And I thought about it and I was like, damn, I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah,
because he would be legendary to do that. Like you win a Super Bowl with that team in that city,
and in the AFC,
right? Like that would be legendary.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, Aaron Rodgers, let me be the first to say it to you, bruh. If you go, it ain't gonna happen.
Hey,
it ain't gonna happen.
Hey.
Let me be the one to say it to you, me, Maestro of the Barbershop Sports Talk.
You don't want it to happen.
Aaron Rodgers. I don't care. No, I mean, only reason I wouldn't want it to happen because that means Pittsburgh wouldn't be there. That's all that means to me. But but look, all bias aside, hey Aaron Rodgers, you're not doing that. You're not taking the Jets to the Super Bowl, bro. Yeah. Hear me and hear me good.
You don't think they could get to a AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs?
Nope.
Really?
Hear me good.
With that defense, and offense?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
And nope.
Okay.
I mean, seriously. I mean, because you are they with Aaron Rodgers? The Aaron Rodgers we know right now, they're better than the Bills in your mind? I'm asking. I
know, but you caught me off guard with that one, and
I'm kind of like, I caught me off guard.
I want to say no, but we know the Bills got some issues of their own too. Like they need a running game. They underachieved down the stretch.
Are they better than the Bengals?
No, I don't think they're better than the Bengals.
We know they're not better than the Chiefs.
Right. Well, but that doesn't mean that they can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yes, you're right. You're right. If we had to rank those teams against the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, you would put Chiefs, maybe Buffalo, Cincinnati. You would definitely put those three teams over the Jets. Maybe the Chargers.
I was going to say maybe even the Chargers.
I'll throw the Chargers in there too. So Jets with Aaron Rodgers, the fifth best team.
Do you rule Baltimore out? Do you rule Baltimore out of it?
I don't. If we retain Lamar and we
I'm talking assuming you got Lamar.
I would put Baltimore over the Jets. But again, that's still like being number 6 in the AFC. That's not bad. I'm just saying, that's not bad.
Look, sure. Yeah. Do you put Miami over the Jets?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
I'm just asking.
I don't know that I put Miami over the Jets.
Okay.
I don't know that I put him over the Jets right now.
Okay.
Because I'm
with a healthy Tua.
Well, if he's healthy, I still don't know because Miami's defense ain't nothing to really write home about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that defense any good. The Jets could beat Miami. Like,
sure. I'm just talking about who you think is the better team. Any team could be any team on any given Sunday.
The Jets. I think the Jets with Rodgers is better than Miami with a healthy Tua.
Okay.
With the healthy Tua. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but okay.
Yeah. So I personally think it's gonna happen. Maybe not next month. Maybe come draft time. But I'm starting to think that this is gonna be a reality. The more they talk, the more the Packers are kind of coming out and saying, "Hey, we're considering these options here," and it doesn't mean that they're going to, but
right.
They've never
means a lot.
It does, but the amount of times they've been vocal about it though, it seems like it's more than what it was last year. Last year it was just Aaron Rodgers doing this. Oh, I might be moving on, or I might retire, or I don't know. Maybe they give me what I want. Maybe they don't. Like, that was the whole, Aaron Rodgers being nonchalant about what he wanted to do. Now this is the Packers now coming out and saying, hey, we're definitely considering this. We're looking at all options, and it's I think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
I think it's gonna happen. Let's show some love to DeMeco Ryans for a 6-year deal with the Houston Texans. Now, I know there's a lot of not popular praise coming out of this from our community. You and I know what the Texans have been doing the past couple of years with black coaches. Lovie Smith gets 1 year. He's gone. The previous year, it was forget the guy's name.
I definitely forgot that dude's name.
Yeah, I forget his name.
I
And
definitely
he was
forgot
and he was on our staff the year before he got that job. But he
I
gets
definitely
1
forgot
year.
that dude's name.
He David Culley.
There you go. Yeah.
He gets the 1 year and he's out in 1 year, and so now and I've heard Stephen A say this too. Hey, if you're black and you're looking for a head coaching job, don't go to the Texans because of how they've been treating black coaches. I don't know that this is gonna be any different. But the whole 6-year deal kind of a thing kind of makes me think that they're at least serious about keeping him beyond 1 year. I'll say that they're serious about keeping him beyond 1 year.
Well, quite frankly, that's all I would ask of Houston right now is, bruh, don't just fire him after 1 year.
Yeah.
It's because you ain't even give him an opportunity to build a team. Like, it's not like Lovie Smith came in and had a team on him.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
He didn't.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
So, I hope 6 years just means that you're giving him, because you've seen what he did with the defense in San Fran, you're giving him an opportunity to build a team. That's all 6 years or announcing 6 years means to me, is that they're gonna hopefully give him an opportunity to build a franchise and not just, hey, win with what you got.
And they have a number 2 pick in the draft too. So
I'm more concerned about how many picks they have, third round and back, further back.
Right. Which I don't know.
Because that's where you're going to build a team.
Of course. Which I don't know what that number is, but I do know that there's quarterbacks that are projected to go, to, maybe the first 10 picks. You might get 3 quarterbacks in that top 10.
Because I would also imagine that they got money.
The Texans with cap space, yes, I think they do.
I would imagine.
I
don't know for a fact, but I would imagine they got money because I'm just who they got in their team. They should have some money.
They should have some money. Correct. So, yeah, they should be signing free agents. If you're a defensive player, you should be dying to come to Houston because of D'Amico Ryans, and you know what he can do on defense. We'll see what they do with with their first draft pick. They might go quarterback.
That'd be reasonable.
Yeah. They may go quarterback with that. So, yeah, I think this is gonna be different. Do I think that there's some, what's the word, genuity with this? Are the Texans genuine about hiring a black coach for the third time? And I guess to say, hey, you say yes, they are.
Well, this time, I don't know what David Culley and Lovie Smith was about, but
okay.
Again, 6 years would say to me, and I haven't read the details of the contract, but it would state, just on face value, hiring a coach and announcing that you hired him for 6 years, on face value says 6 years.
Yeah.
At least he'll at least be there at 3,
right?
And 3 is at least a good enough time based on this franchise to have an assessment on whether we're going to keep you for the next 3.
Yep. No, I get that. I totally get that. But I guess what I'm talking about is, are the Texans doing this because of the backlash that they got for hiring 2 black coaches and firing 2 black coaches back to back? That's kind of where I'm getting at with that.
Time for affirmative action, son.
Congrats to the homie, man.
Absolutely, make the most of it.
He deserves it. And really, when you look around the league with the rest of the openings, because who's left to get a coach? The Colts still don't have a coach, and Arizona doesn't have a coach yet. So it's not like the grass is greener, or it's not like the grass is that much greener with those 2 teams. The Cardinals have a history of, firing a black coach after 1 year. And the Colts, the owner's a lunatic. So, they still trying to consider Jeff Saturday to be the head coach, bro.
Yeah. I don't agree with it, but yeah, that's what they're doing.
Man. Hey. we saw how it played
for like
out.
2 or 3 weeks. They played for him for like 2 or 3 weeks. They say
We saw how that played out, man. Hey, they want to have a bad football team. It's all right with me.
With me.
Just one less team I got to deal with in the conference. So, but their old head coach Frank Reich got hired in Carolina.
Yeah.
I feel bad that Steve Wilkes didn't get the job. I know people had said in Carolina that he would have to do something extraordinary to keep the job, and I guess extraordinary would have been to win the NFC South.
Get in the playoffs. Yeah.
That didn't happen. The fact that he kept this team afloat, even though it's a bad division, but the fact that they were in it till week 17, second to last week of the season, I still give him the credit, man. Because that team could have went like 3-14, the rest of the way. Like they could have just bellied up and just gave up, but he kept that team afloat. So I give him credit
Shout
for that.
Shout out to Steve Wilkes.
But,
hopefully you get a job, homie.
Yeah, for certain, man. He deserves it. But Frank Reich, your opinion about him in Carolina? What you just like whatever, right? Like okay, whatever. Another retread coach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, I ain't happy about it. I ain't sad about it. I ain't optimistic about it, but I ain't pessimistic about it. Like, cool. Whatever. I mean, like, he don't move the needle for me. They still got a quarterback issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, to be quite frank, they still got a roster issue. I mean, I get that the defense played decent this year.
Mm-hmm.
They still got a roster issue. Who was their number one?
Their number
DJ
one receiver?
Moore?
Yeah, DJ Moore. Yeah.
But is he a number one?
That remain. Well, I don't know if it remains to be seen. I think he's their number one clearly, but
sure. I don't think is he a number one?
Yeah, like I don't think you can put him somewhere else and then he's gonna do better. But they do have.
Who the hell is their number two?
I was about to say Curtis Samuel, and then I remembered he's in Washington. Yeah, I don't remember who their number two is.
Hey, man.
They still got some issues. They got issues with the roster.
They're not a good team on paper. Their biggest star on defense is Gilmore.
J.C. Horn is pretty good, too. He got hurt.
Yeah, J.C. Horn is good, yes. But, look, man, I don't believe this team, and I don't think Frank Reich is going to get it together. Now, if he... Not this year, anyway.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you, man. I hear you. But hey, props to them for what they trying to do.
Sure.
It don't matter to me, bruh. You got anything else, man?
I sure as hell don't. I am past my time, and I got kids to put to bed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wait till next week to kind of give my take on this Lamar Jackson franchise tag thing, because that came out earlier today that they're more likely going to give him the exclusive tag, and then we'll kind of see what happens from that point on. But I got some interesting stuff that I want to say about that. I've heard some stuff, over the weekend. And
or do you want to wait till he actually gets the tag, or you need to speculate now?
Well,
I'm asking.
The real reason I want to wait is because I don't want to go over 2 hours. That's the real reason I don't want to wait. Right. That's the real reason. So.
I mean, because it's so early. I mean, it's way too early right now to even deal with speculation talks about his contract. Because the truth of the matter is that it should have been done a long time ago. So now you kind of got to wait till off season anyway.
Yeah, it's less about the contract and it's more about a potential trade with not just one team, but with 2 teams.
Okay. Yeah, hold that.
So I'm gonna hold that for next week, and I'm interested to get your take on it. Want to give a shout out to Jason Feirman from the 3rd and 3 podcast for stopping through here. Thanks to the folks out there watching us in the chat, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live. Make sure everybody continue to follow us on those platforms. You can still follow us on our Instagram account at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Remember the Facebook page. Click the like button. The YouTube channel. Tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. If you want to hit us up through email, hit us up at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. and on any of these platforms, whether it's Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Drop us a review. Let us know what you think about the show. And we really, truly appreciate everybody that tunes in and, you know, all of our fans and followers and all that good stuff. So can't wait to do another one next week with you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Hey,
no
man,
doubt.
we got to do a Monday episode after the bowl, man.
A Monday episode?
Yeah, we're going to have to do it because I realize it's Valentine's Day, man, and my kids don't play that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good point.
And I got daughters.
Good point.
I got 2 daughters that don't play that shit.
I will run that by the missus and get that approved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Y'all have a blessed week. We'll be back next week with another one. Peace, love, and remember to mind your business.
And drink some water.
Recording stopped.